Sometimes God will send your ex back in your life to see if you're still stupid. You have to understand, the longer you keep putting up with shit that ain't benefiting you, that ain't making you grow, the more it's putting you in a space where you continue to not love yourself.
A woman that is overly aggressive is a woman that has been hurt tremendously.
Size meaning you said cease. You said create a song.
But like when it comes to your family, how did you know that, okay, it was time to kind of take a step back? Or how did you know that your mother was the way that she was, or your family was the way that they are or were?
Oh, when I was 19, man, that's whenever I'm out here sleeping around, going crazy. I'm thinking it's cute, but in actuality, you know, a girl said to me when I hurt her feelings, because I just went cold turkey. She was like, "You got mommy issues," and I got mad. I'm like, "Man, I ain't got no mommy issues." And when she said that, I went home and just looked up, all type of things about um mommy issues and stuff like that. And that's when I realized, like, dang, this serious. So when I was 19, that's when I realized I had mommy issues. I started talking to people. And I actually started getting mentored, but I wasn't actually listening. I wasn't actually thinking what they were saying because they was too harsh. They was telling me the truth. They were telling me things that I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to take accountability. I was 19. So about time, years later, probably like 23, 22, 22, 23, that's when I started realizing I had to get my life together. Because I'm steady saying that I'm going to change. I change for a month, then go back to doing the same thing over and over again. Like I'm doing the same thing. I get with a girl, I'm doing the same thing. I haven't fully healed, and that's how I realized, okay, God, why did I keep going through the same thing over and over again? Because I'm steady testing you, steady feeling. You're gonna keep going through this test because you steady praying out to me. I always believe in prayer, but I did believe what I prayed for because he kept sending me the same test. It came in different ways, shapes, and forms. And the different women I will meet that come off everything that I wanted and everything, but then that test to come, and I fail every time. Every time I deal with a woman, things that go my way, I break up. I'm back dealing with multiple women. Like, dude, either you go fix the issue or you go live with it. Can't keep complaining. And that's when I realized I had an issue with myself because every time I broke up with a girl, I didn't really like them. It's like I was with them out of convenience. Then after I break up with them, I'm going back to my whole phase. It's like, nigga, like, what the hell? I can't keep doing it. That's when I got like 22, 23. Had to change my way because I had my first kid and stuff like that, man. It's like I had to be a reflection of him. I had to be an example for him, And my first baby mom, she had to go through that experience of me putting that trauma onto her and all that different stuff. So it affected me. Some things that my child saw that he can't unsee, but I did bringing other women around and stuff like that. It hurted his mother, you know. And as a man, I need to take accountability for that. I apologize, but some things can be unseen. But that's the whole essence of being a man. And once I honestly stop trying to be the man, I became the man. Like for real.
Yeah.
So that's how you gotta look at it. You don't get no bragging points off sleeping with numerous amount of people. Cause most of the women that I was sleeping with were broken. They were broken. And when we stop thinking that sex is the only way we go heal our trauma, I believe honestly, us as men, we go get a lot of places. It'll be a lot more healthy relationships. I'm speaking for the men. I'm not speaking for the women. Because men, we tend to use sex as a form of validation, healing. It never worked. That's why it's so many. That's why it's hard to date, like you say. Because so many men are looking for one thing: sex. Why? Because they're traumatized from their childhood and their relationship. Who's therapy? Who's sitting down with us in our community that we can actually go to and talk to and have conversations like me and you?
Right, and that look like you, and that look like you too.
There's nobody doing. There's probably you count on two hands podcast that's doing what you're doing right now. That's why I salute you because not many people doing this. They don't like it. They don't like when we come together like this, and they know who they are. They don't like it because you become stronger mentally. Once you open up a person's mind, they're able to think better. Once you're able to think better, you're able to operate better. You open up your third eye. So, it's all about understanding yourself, man. And that's when every point of my life I had to understand I need to change. And that changed hard, man. A lot of lonely nights. And I want to pick up that phone and call somebody. And I'm finna go on my little hoe phase. I couldn't do it. Something
Yeah.
me wouldn't allow me, you know? And I would
Yep.
try to. And I'd be like, damn, I ain't got ugly. Like, ain't nobody reaching out to me. Like, ain't nobody trying to talk to me. Like, why I'm getting rejected by everybody? God was protecting me. This is what you wanted, so I'm gonna give it to you. But it hurt it in the process. Cause I'm steady trying to go and get something he already had for me.
That's right.
I'm steady trying to holler at women. I'm like, bro, I ain't really been rejected before. Like, this hurt. Sometimes God send people in your, sometimes God will keep sending the same test in your life to see if you're still stupid. You know?
Right.
This is being real. You know, and it's like, I don't know, man. And that's why I say, man, I'm not perfect. But as far as that whole phase and talking to multiple women, I'm way past that. I can't.
Hmm.
That lust in me is so far gone. Like whenever I'm out in public, I don't even look at women. I don't approach women. None of that. Yeah, women that approach me and stuff, but I don't even be interested because it's like I've been there before.
Yeah.
I know what genuine is. When you come at me, touching me, or coming at me a certain way, I don't like that,
Mhm.
and I understand why certain women don't like being approached. Hey, sexy. Yeah, I like that. I see why women don't like that because that's unattractive, man.
Right.
Once you hear yourself, you don't want to be sexualized. You want to be seen
Mm-mm.
within, not on the outside. Most women
Right.
be understood. Most women want to be heard. They want to be paid attention to. Same thing as the man. I want to be understood. I want to be heard. I want to be paid attention to.
Right.
You know? I want my flowers too. I don't want just sex and a fresh steak and some macaroni. You know?
And well, women think, I feel like a lot of times women use their body, or don't say no, or they meet somebody and they jump in the bed with them, just like men, right, do as well. I think it's because some females or women believe that, okay, I'm gonna sex him to love me, or either, yeah, that's what they learned what love looked like. They learned that love was giving a man their body, because that could be something that started at a very young age, right?
Right.
Somebody in their family that they trusted violated them, and they just grew up thinking that that was part of love,
Mhm.
not understanding what healthy looks like. So I think once you surround yourself around people who um are healthy, then you have no choice but to look at yourself and, look at yourself like, why do I think like this? Why do I respond in this way? And that's what happened for me. Like, I had to look at myself and think, because of the people that I was around, okay, they're different. They don't get as angry as I get over little things, right? Like, why do I get so angry but they don't? They're healthy. So I had no choice but to look at myself. You can't be around people who are healthy, who are working on themselves, they're striving to be better, and you are in the same spot. It's just not going to work. You going to get left, and they're going to keep on going, or you're going to look at yourself and you're also going to want to grow as well. So it's really important, who we have around us, and who we're entertaining as friends, as partners, even like we talk about family, even family. Who are we entertaining? I can't have toxicity in my life, including family. If you toxic, you getting cut off. Like, sorry, but not sorry. You know?
Love that. I love that.
Yeah.
One
So.
one thing you just mentioned, a key point, what you just said, that a lot of people, they could just pay attention to that one thing. It'll save them from wasting their time with a lot of people. One thing you just said, an unhealed person is triggered by everything.
Hmm.
When you meet somebody, see what they get triggered about. And that'll tell you everything about you that you need to know about them. But you gotta pay
Right.
attention though, man. We be so caught in la la land, in that love phase. Pay attention to what they get triggered about. Okay, she get triggered about. Pay attention to how that person treat other people. If that person got kids, listen to how she yell at her kids.
Hmm. Hmm.
How she talk to her kids. What makes you think she gonna treat you better than her kids, stupid? You know? Think about that. Look how fast she have you around her kids.
Hmm.
All those different things. She don't have no respect for her kids, neither herself. What make you think she gonna respect you? Because she barely even know you, but have you around her kids. She don't have no respect for her kids' father or nothing. You know, these are the things you gotta pay attention to when you meet people. And that's why it's hard for me to date. Because when I meet people, I'm paying attention to everything. Because you have to. This is
You have to.
this is your life. A lot of women had told me that I'm too serious. Well, motherfucker, if I'm too serious, what you looking for something? You looking for a play day at McDonald's or something? This is not what I'm looking for. So I ain't looking for nothing serious. But you just said you wanted to be married, but you're not looking for nothing serious. God has sent me the right man. God has sent you the right man, but you can't see because your vision is so broken. A lot of good men have come into a women's life. A lot of good women have come into men's life, but their vision was so broken they couldn't see what was in front of them. You know, when your vision is clear, you can see everything that's in front of you. So when you know you got something special and it's right there for you, you gonna see within, not on the outside. No matter how pretty your face is, no matter how big your butt is, what you have on the inside is what's gonna attract me. Simple as that. We don't look at that. We focus on what you drive. We focus on
Right.
work. We focus on, how many times you been to jail, you know, how much money you done blown last weekend, all that different bull crap. Do you drink? You smoke? You know, my baby daddy, an ex drug dealer. You know, he got 20 years in the Fed. People like stuff like that, man. It's so stupid. They like stuff like that. You know. So as a whole, we lost that as a community. Not just us, but a lot of other people, because our foundation, where we come from, and our childhood was unhealthy. A lot
Yeah.
of times, people don't want to believe that they come from an unhealthy childhood because my mama made sure food was in the refrigerator. My mom made sure she kept clean clothes on us. That's not love. That's responsibility. People get love and responsibility mixed up in the childhood. Responsibility is taking care of your child. Most of us wasn't given love as a kid in our
Right.
childhood. We was given responsibility. That's it. Stop mixing responsibility and love in the same sentence. That's what because you ask a person right now, how do you know your mom love you? They'll argue with you and say, my mama did this, she did that, she did this, she did that. Nothing evolved around their emotions. Nothing evolved around how they treated them.
Right.
Nothing evolved around them sitting down, actually listen to them instead of wanting to be right.
I know.
So that's responsibility. That's condition. So even though my mother took care of me and my father took care of me, she did not love me unconditional. She loved me based on condition. And it might hurt if she see this, but it's the facts. I have to live with my truth. Just because you took care of me, brought me to Disney World every year, that's responsibility. That's something that you wanted to do. Did you sit down with me and have that talk with me? Hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? You know, what can I do to make you feel connected to me more? That's one question
Right.
I ask my woman. What can I do to make you feel connected to me more emotionally? That question hit deep because, like, what the fuck? How do
Right.
I respond to that?
Yeah.
I want you to feel me emotionally. No matter how many times we had sex, I want you to make sure that you emotionally connect to me. Because when a woman emotionally leaves a relationship, it's over. Like R. Kelly said, when a woman fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. Once she emotionally leaves you, it's over.
It's over. A
It's over.
wrap.
So you want to have that same relationship with your children. You want them to always be emotionally connected with you. You know, 'cause one thing, they're going to
Yeah.
always remember everything that you instilled in them and taught them. You
I
know,
mean, it's so true. I have two. So I have a 19-year-old and then an 8-year-old.
Mhm.
And I can see the difference. Like I have my oldest at a very young age, wasn't emotionally available, just kind of I made sure he had everything that he needed. But a lot of times parents, what we do is we give our children what we've seen,
right,
right? Or what we did not get. So that can look like, okay, taking them on trips or, when Christmas comes around, they got the most gifts and providing them, big birthday parties when it's like, all right, this is all great. These are nice gestures, of course. Most kids want that. But also, with my oldest, I don't really remember. I would hug him, but not as much as I do with the youngest. Like I'm a different parent to both.
right,
So the youngest, he gets more of like the emotional side. Like I'm not so quick to snap or discipline. I can hear him out. He can come to me. He feels comfortable with talking with me. And whereas my oldest, we're repairing our relationship because of how I was. I wasn't emotionally available for him. And at times was neglectful. So we talk about that. And even on C's podcast, him and I sit down and we talk about our relationship, and he's honest with me, I'm honest with him. And there's things that I got to look at as a parent. I wasn't the best mother to him, like, although I'm now a better mother, I wasn't the best
Right.
when he was younger.
And as a woman, I want to say I applaud you because you're not finna get Miss Alberta, Miss Cynthia, and I'm using older people name because you know what I'm talking about. The elders,
Mhm,
they not
mhm,
finna get on here and apologize for nothing. You gonna
mhm.
accept? I took care of you. I mean, you had to eat. They not gonna apologize because they're stuck in
Right.
ways. I'm gonna tell you who they go apologize to: the pastor, the doctor, lawyers. They're gonna apologize to police officers. They're gonna apologize to the congressman, but they're not gonna apologize to their children. Self hatred. That's a topic for another conversation. But self hatred. It's all about how you feel about self.
Mm,
You know.
yeah. I mean, that's how we respond to our kids. We take out who we are on them. I know that's what I did with my oldest.
Yeah.
And I was snappy about everything. Everything was a snap, and I surrounded myself around people who weren't using drugs, because at that time I was smoking a lot of weed, you know, um, popping pills, like that was just my life. And it was like, well, he's taken care of. He got the latest Tim's on, his fit's nice, but I wasn't emotionally there. I was just going through the motions, cooking in the morning, making sure you got something in your stomach, telling you to hurry up and go off to school because I want you out of my face, right? Like, you need to hurry up.
Bruh.
See you when you get home, and please don't talk when you get home. That's my truth. And I'm being that I always say that if somebody's perfect, this ain't for you. This podcast is not for you. If you are perfect, you don't want to hear what I got to say, because a lot of people can look at me and be like, well, she's a terrible person and she did this and she did that. I own what I did, and I could care less about what anybody else thinks about me or who I am as a person. What matters to me is what God thinks about me and what my kids think about me. Because what I share isn't for show. It's to be honest. There are people out there that are struggling with being parents, and how to even connect. We don't even talk about that, right? When you experience so much trauma, or like you said, you have mommy issues. I have mommy and daddy issues. Don't know who my daddy is, and my mama just did me dirty, right? So then we grow up and we have children, and I didn't know how to parent. I didn't know how to parent. I learned how to parent through what was done to me. The only thing I knew I didn't want to do was I told myself I wasn't going to smoke crack, and I knew that sexual abuse, that spirit was not in me. So I thank God for that. But everything else, the physical abuse, I used to whip my sons behind. It wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. But we don't talk about how, we weren't the best parents at a young age. How do you know how to be a parent at 19 or 20? You have to learn.
Mm. And it goes back to survival mode. Sometimes having kids at an early age, it makes you go into survival mode real fast.
Mhm.
Not really emotionally to be a parent. Emotionally, you're not ready. So all you
Mhm.
think as a parent is just make sure that you provide. No man, being a parent is make sure that you're sustaining them mentally and emotionally. You know, so it ain't just about providing; it's about emotionally too. Make sure that you're emotionally connected to your child, and that's so much more important than money.
Mhm.
Emotional
Yeah.
relation to your children is so much more important than providing. You know, if it was for me, I would want the emotional stimulation part besides the Disney World, the Jordans, the Coogee fit, the Polo fit. Hell with all that.
Right.
Sit me down and ask me questions throughout the week. Things that you can do to make me feel more connected to you as a son. Even though you may feel like you love me, but I'm confused about what love is,
Mhm.
you know? Because the person that I love the most is treating me a certain way that I believe now as I got older that this is not love. This is something that you was conditioned to believe that was love.
Right.
This is trauma. Sometimes we get trauma and love mixed up.
Sure do.
You know? Sometimes it might look like sugar, but it tastes like salt when you actually taste it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So digging deep with yourself, and a lot of parents don't want to have these conversations. They want to have these conversations when they're on their deathbed.
Right.
That kills me. They want to have these conversations when they're on their deathbed. I'm sorry for everything that I've done. It's too late now. It's too late. You want to repent whenever you finna go to
Mm.
the Father. You know? One thing I say and I tell people, be everything to your person that you don't want nobody else to be. I want to be everything to my children that I don't want another man to be. Be everything to my woman that I don't want another man to be. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a daughter, 'cause I got two sons, if I had a daughter, I want to be everything to her. Everything to her that's going to exemplify what a man is. It's simple. Now, she don't have to
Yeah.
and look just like me.
Right.
You don't have to date a man that treat her like me, but make sure he has some morals and respect about himself. You don't have to be just like me. No, that's control. That's stupid. Why you tell my daughter to go find somebody that look just like me? No,
Right.
because there's some of the same morals and traits and stuff like that. Know how to ask the right questions. So I'm gonna teach my children how to date, how to ask the right questions,
Mm-hmm.
how to
That's
differentiate and
important.
play you. They're gonna know this at an early age. They're gonna be ahead of the game. That's the emotional stimulation you need to be teaching your children how to succeed in life. They
Mm-hmm.
don't care about them Jordans, tennis shoes. All
Not
that.
when they get older. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I learned that I don't even, I'll buy my son a pair of nice sneakers every so often, the little one.
Mhm.
But even like holidays come around, like let's watch movies, let's, spend some time together, let's play some board games. We don't do all that anymore. Like we don't sit down and, play Monopoly or Sorry with our kids or, have those conversations while we're playing games and, just chopping it up. Because at the end of the day, when we leave this earth, I know for me, well, all of us anyway, the only thing that they're going to have is the memories.
Mhm.
And I want to make sure that those memories are good memories. Obviously, like I said, I'm still repairing my relationship with my oldest, but memories are important. That's all that we can leave. So we just got to make sure that they are healthy
Right.
as possible. Yeah.
And another thing is too, man, for people out there, I'm not saying to everybody you should give your parents some grace, but understand your parents were taught something different than you know now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So any parents that's looking at this that may get offended, you was taught something different. That's it.
Right.
You
Right.
taught different from what we know now. There's a lot of information now versus back in the
Yeah.
day.
It's true.
Therapy wasn't such thing back in your day. You know, for the people that's looking at it might get offended. The way your mother and father had taught you what love was wrong. If your child is confused on whether they have a healthy relationship with you or not, because a lot of times we don't understand. My mother, for example, I had to sit down and understand she was taught different. That's what helped me get through the process.
Right.
And she was taught different from me. She was taught different. Like her mom and dad taught her what love was. Get up, go to work, provide, and listen to everything I say. I'm your mama.
Hmm.
All right, mama. I don't have to listen to everything you say. You gotta watch how you talk to me.
Hmm.
You gotta respect me because you can't love someone you don't respect. And that's why a lot of parents don't love their children because they don't respect you. You gotta demand respect from your parents. If they don't
That's
respect you, cut
true.
them off. Your parents have to respect you. Just like your boss, your job, they have to respect you. If a person doesn't respect you, they'll never truly value you. I
Mm.
don't care who it is. So your parents have to respect you. If your parents don't respect you, you have to walk away from them. If you don't do nothing else, if you steady fight for your parents to respect you, cut them off.
Ain't
One
that the
thing a
truth?
person gonna do, they gonna respect your absence.
Right.
You know?
Like, I don't know why they ain't talking to me no more.
Oh, they go get to them. You know? Silence is a deadly killer. Um, you have to understand, man. If they don't want to give you your respect, so just like you when you dating, they don't want to respect you, just exit. Don't do all
Hmm.
that talking, all that different stuff, because they gonna try and figure you out. They were like, dang. She ain't even trying to talk to me. She ain't hit me up or nothing.
Right.
Went silent to your disrespect. Notice when people get disrespect, they be like, "Don't talk to me like that. Please don't do that." No, you go ghost when you get disrespected. Leave their mind wondering what you owe them an explanation for if they disrespecting you. They don't respect you enough to care about your mental health or your well being. So why do you owe them an explanation? You know. So understanding that, man. I tell my parent
Yeah.
all the time, if you go talk to me crazy, I'm getting off the phone.
Right.
Come at me with the wrong energy, I'm hanging up. I'm your mom. You don't hang up on me, dupe. Hanging up. That don't make you exempt. You shorten your days. No, I'm not. You shorten your days because in the same Bible it said it don't provoke in your children. Don't throw no Bible verses at me as a form of manipulation because you can't have your
Mhm.
respect me as your child or not talk to me at all. But you're gonna need me if I need you.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
You're the one fighting with something. Anytime somebody coming at you with negative energy, it's something within themselves that's not right. That they fighting. That's your trauma. And some of us as kids, that's why so many women, a lot of women move out after high school. So many women move out. And I applaud women for this. Like I say, I'm not pandering. This is facts. What I've seen. So many women move out at a early age, 17, 18.
Mhm.
They get pregnant, but they always have their own. They always have their own everything. They end up going to school, taking care of their own business and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of women don't get enough credit for that. I feel like a lot of us men forget that. Man, it's a lot of women that actually leave the house at an early age
Mhm.
because mama was so hard on them. Mama wasn't hard on them. Mama wasn't hard on a lot of us men. She was always hard on her daughter. So the daughter had to pick up a lot of slack that you wasn't getting. 'Cause we can get away with murder. Daughter couldn't get away with nothing. So 17, she graduated high school. She getting her own apartment. She working 2 or 3 jobs. Next thing you know, she get a little itch. She getting this scratch. She have a baby. So now she got to work 10 times harder. The nigga
Yeah.
might dip out and disappear. She still got to go to school, make sure she get it for her kids. Nobody
Mhm.
talks about those type of stories that a lot of us women of our culture have to go through that they don't get enough credit for. You feel me?
It's true. And then the men that are present, it's like it's such a huge deal. And it's like, well, this is what it's supposed to look like. You know, men are supposed to be parents to their children, but when we see a father who's, part of their child's life, they're present, they're showing up, it's like this huge thing. And it's like, but this is what it should be. Just like mothers are there, fathers need to be there too. So, but let me ask you a question.
So,
What would you say to somebody who's watching? Like, what's some advice you would give to them? Maybe they have an unhealthy relationship with their parent right now. What would you tell them?
my advice to you, man, sit down, have that conversation with your parents, have that talk with them, tell them about how you feel, tell them about how neglected you feel emotionally, how some of the things in your life that you feel as if they abandoned you on, emotional abandonment, because that's real.
Hmm.
It's why you might be acting out in certain ways because you were emotionally abandoned as a child, even though they were there. So you need to write down a couple things that you want to ask your parent. And if they want to have a conversation with you and they want to be defensive, don't don't go back and forth. Find a therapist. Have the
Right.
therapist reach out, see if they can have a sit down with y'all both. If she don't want to do that, sorry to say, you got to cut them off
Yeah.
because there's nothing you can do to fix something in somebody that they don't see as broken. So my advice is sit down, write down everything that you have going on negative within yourself that's affecting you that you needed from your childhood, from your parents. Write it down. Have a sit down with them. If they don't want to talk with you, reach out to a therapist. Tell them you want,
Hmm.
a couple therapists with your mom or all that different stuff. Have them to reach out because, like I say, most parents respect what titles. They don't respect their children. Tell a pastor to reach out to a therapist. See, you gotta go. You gotta play the mind game with some of these parents. They respect titles. They don't respect these kids. You know. So that's how you go around it. And then if they don't want to do none of that, sorry, sister, brother, you gotta walk away. Don't hurt. You gotta choose your pain. Either live with that pain of knowing, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to change, and you just continuously fight for something that you'll never get, and you losing yourself. You 50 years old, still searching for love from your mama, and your daddy, and you with somebody that's abusing you, not treating you right because you looking for something within yourself that you should have got from your childhood, that you didn't take time to understand and regulate and control and confront, or you choose the pain of walking away knowing that you tried and you have your peace and you have no dignity. Choose your pain. It's gonna be painful either way it go.
Wow. Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. That's so true. Listen, we done chopped it up. Like, I'm so happy that you was able to come on today.
Yeah.
I, value all the things that you've said so far. And yeah, I let everyone know how they can find you, maybe on social media.
Hold on, I'm trying to tell you, my Instagram is OG_CAMAR. OG_Kamar. That's my Instagram. My TikTok is Canberra7, right? I don't be
I'll
paying
put it, I'm gonna make sure that they see. I'll put it on the screen for them too.
Canberra7. And like I said, man, I'll be dropping knowledge on there and stuff like that. Man, I'm glad I was able to get on your podcast. I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate
But I
it.
thank you for your time and everything. But
Thank you.
so you have any questions, man, just reach out to me and whatnot. Yeah. That's how
All
you
right. C's podcast. It was dope, chopping it up with Cam today. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, all right. Until next time.